Hey there kids, welcome back. David Eon here and the gorgeous Miss Lady Pop Hunter, and we are sitting in the Funko Pop section of the museum.
Yes.
Because we are talking about
Funko.
And the reason we're talking about Funko is because we've gotten some messages, mostly on Instagram, opened by chance on Instagram. Hey, shameless plug.
Yeah, put that plug in.
Asking what the hell's going on with Funko stock. And I've heard that a lot of Funko channels are talking about, oh my god, what's going on with Funko stock? And I've got to ask, why? Why is anyone surprised? Funko has been a complete roller coaster ride with their stock from day one.
Yeah.
They had one of the worst opening days in NASDAQ history. NASDAQ said in their report it was the worst opening day they had seen in over 17 years when Funko first went publicly traded. Funko is being sued by multiple entities for misrepresenting themselves.
Yes.
They were not honest about their earning potential with NASDAQ, and so there's a bunch of lawsuits tied up with that.
And they have something going on with Mattel, don't they?
Yeah, well, Mattel cut them off from being able to list Masters of the Universe figures because
they stole a storyline.
Yeah, they accusing them of taking a storyline from Masters of the Universe for their Savage World figures. There's a lot of issues. There's a lot of issues going on. Plus, there's the whole concept of them looking like a fad item. It makes people really nervous, and so the stock has gone up and down the entire time that they've been getting publicly traded. To anyone who actually has anything to do with the stock market, and I know there's some fun addicts out there that are like, ugh, you know, they're ready to choke me now. And obviously we collect Funko Pops. We don't have a problem with the product, but that doesn't mean that the company has great business practices, basically. But they don't look like a company that if you trade in stocks, they look like a junk stock. They look like something you don't want to mess around with because of the lawsuits, because of the misrepresentation, because of the up and down bouncing of the stock. It doesn't look like it has a lot of potential. And one of the biggest problems, I mean, most of the people that are investing in Funko stock are toy collectors that want to dabble, basically, or want to support the company, not real traders. The entire company is teetering basically on a single product, and that is the Pops. That's where like more than 90% of their income's coming from. The rest of the stuff, it really doesn't sell, or it doesn't sell very well.
Yeah, the cereal, Pez, skateboard, book bags.
Yeah, Dorbs, Hikari. What happened to Hikari? It's just kind of gone.
Dorbs dropped off too.
Yeah, they're even their action figure, like the Savage World and the other stuff that they've done. It has some interest with some people, but even that stuff ends up on clearance. So real traders don't want to mess with it. It looks too treacherous, and you just have people that really love toys, or Funko are the primary investors, and that's just not enough. So it goes up and down and up and down. The other reason nobody should be surprised is because this is part of the pattern. Last year, in September, they peaked at around $28. This year in September, they peaked at around $28, just short. It's like 27 and 48 cents or something like that. Then from that point forward, straight down right through the holiday season until it tanked at around $11.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and it's happening again because they're closed at just over 14 today, and that all through November and December. Where, and you know, you used to mess around with the stock.
Yeah.
November, December, almost every retail company sees a rise.
Yeah.
Not Funko. Funko goes down. And part of the reason for that is because the retail outlets that normally purchase in bulk toys and things like that, they don't want this stuff hanging around in January.
No.
So the orders actually kind of shrink for Funko in that period. So they peak right between the cons, right between San Diego Comic-Con and New York Comic-Con.
Yeah.
That's when it starts coming up.
Yeah.
Then it starts sliding off right at the peak season when everyone else is making money through November and December.
That's crazy. I didn't realize, because I don't follow it. I don't follow Funko stocks at all, but it is interesting that around the Comic-Con times that they do some peaks. So, well, I guess we'll see how it goes.
Also, during the Comic-Cons is when Funko sells stuff that everybody wants.
Yeah.
Because it's not like it was, and this is what I keep telling people about Funko, because people ask me all the time, when is Funko going to go under? When is Funko going to go bankrupt? I don't know. It could be 10 days, it could be 10 years. You never really know for sure, although we might find out in 2023.
Why?
Because that's when the banknotes are going to come up. And they have a lot of revolving credit, more than they should. Their average is about 500, just over $500 million in sales, which is not their net. Their net profit is like around the 20 million mark, because they owe so much, they have to pay so much, but their revolving credit is still almost equal to their yearly gross, which makes them also another reason why people who dabble in stocks don't want to touch them. That looks really dangerous to mess around with. But if when the credits come up and the creditors, which I think is in 2023, sit at the table and say, okay, let's look at Funko. If they had to, could they pay us off right now or come close to it this year? And if the answer is no, like it was with Toys R Us and Payless Shoe Source and a lot of other companies that have gone under recently, if the answer is no,
they pull the plug.
They'll call in their markers, and then there'll be a bankruptcy hearing. So that's how it goes. I mean, it's very much a fad item. Whether people want to, I know people, oh, Funko forever, and I've gotten ribbed on that just recently too on previous videos. Like I said, I've been critical, honestly, folks. I've been critical of Funko in the past. I don't hate them, but if you hand me an orange, I'm going to call it an orange. It's as simple as that. They get upset with me for some of the critical remarks, but it is what it is. It looks very much like a fad item, no matter how you slice it. And part of the problem with that also is, since they've gone into their mass production stage after 2015, basically anything made after 2015, it's not holding value anymore.
Yeah, it's not that desirable. Some things are.
Yeah.
Not everything. Mainly people want the stuff pre-2015.
Pre-2015.
And,
pre-mass production.
Yeah. But you rarely find any of that stuff.
You don't see that stuff even at Pop Swaps and Pop Shows, rarely.
Or Comic-Con.
Or if it is, it's like stupid expensive.
Yeah.
It's stupid valuable. But being a fad type item, that means that probably at least half of the people that are buying and collecting them are doing it because they think it's an investment, or because they plan on selling it someday based on the previous sales, like Kenner's starting lineup used to do, like McFarlane's original Spawn line, like Playmates Star Trek, like Kenner's 90s Star Wars line, which we often see mint on the card in the bins at shows for $1 to $50, because they tanked figures that used to get hundreds. So it's starting lineups. I'm not going to lie, I've been buying, selling, trading for a long time, and in the 90s, some of those starting lineup figures I could get over $100 a piece for, and I see them in the bins for $1.
We were a couple years ago, remember, we were in Illinois. We went to a show, and it was bring an action figure and you get in free.
Oh, that's right.
Everybody had those Star Wars figures. They were turning them in to get in free. But we went to Joann's Fabrics a couple of weeks ago, and there were pops in there. Joann Fabric is a sewing shop. You go in there to buy fabric, sewing machines, threads, scissors, stuff to sew with. And they had a small display of Funko Pops. And Funko Pops does not fit in with sewing at all.
It doesn't fit in at the FedEx store either.
No, it doesn't fit in at the FedEx
It's in a lot of places. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Where was it? The gas station?
At Love's.
Love's gas station, that's right.
Yeah.
It has them. And it's like, what the hell? The Funko makes a lot of shelf warmers because they produce way too much product.
Yeah.
In the current adult collectors market, and I just did a video on that not too long ago, the other day. In the current adult collectors market, it's very oversaturated, and Funko is one of, if not the biggest contributor to that problem. But they can't stop. They cannot stop because they have presented themselves as a stock option and said, look, we have the potential to continue to make $500 million a year in gross, and if they can't, they're in a lot of trouble. So they've got to keep cranking it out, and I've been hearing this, and like I said, a lot of fun addicts, a lot of Funko Pop collectors have been mad at me in the past, although this year I've gotten a lot of messages on the channel, in my email, at the Instagram, saying, yeah, you know those things that you used to say about Funko? I get it now.
Yeah.
I get it now. I'm hearing from a lot of big-time Funko collectors. I've sold a bunch of my stuff. I've sold the bulk of my collection.
The whole collection.
I used to buy hundreds of these. This year I bought 10.
Yeah.
Somebody said to me. Another person said, I think I bought 10 or 15 last year.
I don't think I bought one this whole year.
It's overwhelming. You can't keep up with anything. I feel bad for anybody who collects Star Wars or Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter.
Yeah.
You can't keep up with it.
Marvel,
Marvel.
And
it's
DC
impossible
too.
to keep up because they're like, oh, it's only $15, and it's all that $15 adds up quick when you got to buy 10, 20 of them.
Yeah.
And they take up a ton of space. We've been very fortunate in using a slat wall system in the entire museum, not just in this section, that accommodates this kind of stuff well. But most people, it's tough to find a way to shelve this stuff.
Yeah, it is.
It can be really hard. But again, that's also back to the other point about the Comic-Cons. That's why they peak between the Comic-Cons, because what is it that most people are after? They're after the chases, they're after the Comic-Con exclusives, and even those are hanging around at a lot of stores months after the fact.
Yeah, because we went to a couple of places, and they still got 2018 Comic-Cons.
Yeah.
Or early 2019.
That Zoolander Merman is still in Target stores. We've seen a couple of them still floating around in Targets.
And some of those Stranger Things
Merman's floating around. I made it funny, folks.
It was
Pun
funny.
Not intended. Somebody is rolling on the floor. They're like, oh my god. But even store exclusives aren't drawing attention anymore.
No. Go to Hot Topic, you'll see a ton of them.
Yeah. And so the stuff ends up on clearance. And clearance is another topic I was going to do in a different discussion. Clearance is the death of any toy line. Because from a retailer perspective, and I've been a retailer, I've worked for Bradley's, I've been a manager for Family Dollar stores, I've been a manager of Bradley's and J. Billner's and whatever, no big deal. But there's something about retail that a lot of people don't get, and that's that the space is often more valuable than the product. And if they count that space into the value, and if something isn't moving and it keeps ended up on clearance, after a while that retailer, they're going to scale back their purchases and be like, oh, you know what, we can't keep buying this stuff.
Yeah.
Which could eventually happen.
We'll see.
Unless they can break into something else, and Funko has dabbled in a lot of different things, a lot of different designs.
But nothing is taken off.
Nothing's taken off.
Except for the Pops.
Yeah.
I mean, the Pez isn't really doing much. The cereal, no.
There's some local comic shop dealers, they'll do bulk deals on the cereal, like sell you a whole, like 10 boxes for $50 or something. I saw one guy locally, I can't remember who it was doing some kind of deal like that just to get rid of them. You know, the t-shirts, all that stuff, they try to break into different markets, which is smart, but they haven't hit their niche.
No.
Not like with the Pops. The Pops
yeah.
has been the cash cow.
That sucks.
So I mean, it's no surprise to me that
Well,
Funko is doing this.
Has its run.
Yeah.
I mean, G.I. Joe had a run. Masters had a run. Star Wars. Everybody had a run.
Yeah.
And then they hit a wall and they go away and then they come back.
They come back, and that could happen with Funko. Or at least with the concept, because, and this is something else I've pointed out that a lot of people don't like to hear, Funko's not an original concept at all.
No.
It's been done. It's been done before. Remco did it in the 60s.
Yeah.
Remco had caricature, big head little figures that they did. They did the Munsters, they did the Addams Family, they did the Beatles, they did the Mamas and the Papas. They did the Dave Clark 5.
Yeah.
All kinds of weird stuff like that. Little figures about 3 inches tall, just like Funko, 3.5 inches with a big fat head.
Well, other companies are doing it too, but Funko is just the main one right now.
Yeah.
Because other companies, I think Jada's way better than Funko. And I have a bunch of their stuff.
She does.
And a Loyal Subject is trying to come up. And what's that other one I have? The Predators, the Titans.
The Titans, yeah.
They're way better.
There's a lot of alternatives. I think most people don't look at those because they tend to be a little bit more expensive.
Yeah. But Jada runs about the same price.
Yeah.
Jada Metals. It's $10. So.
I just know a lot of those alternatives. They tend to be a little bit more pricey.
Yeah. But you get a better quality. So.
But yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Expect it to keep going down. Because if it follows the trend from last year, it'll dip all the way through the holiday season before it starts to pick up again, and it'll probably start to pick up again around like Emerald City Comic Con. Because isn't that like one of the first ones?
Yeah,
that comes
that's
up?
in March.
Yeah.
So.
And then then you got Toy Fair, and they have the big announcements at Toy Fair. But it's going to keep popping up and down. It's not stable, and it doesn't peak where you would expect it to peak. If you were going to buy Funko, I would buy it around Christmas.
Buy it for somebody for a Christmas gift, and then tell them to sell it right after New York Comic Con.
Yeah, sell it in September, because last year and this year, September was the peak. September was the peak, and then it just started to bail. But I guess a lot of the people that have been debating about it on dedicated pop channels. We're not a dedicated pop channel because we collect a lot of different stuff, and we do a lot of different things. We're big pop culture fanatics. We do statues and action figures and vintage and a lot of stuff. Maybe they don't have an understanding of how the stock market works.
Well, really, I mean, don't even worry about it. They're going to put out stuff until they stop.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
if you like them,
just keep buying it. So if the stock market crashed, so what? Because even if they weren't publicly traded, they were going to make the product until they stopped.
Yeah, basically.
So I mean,
and
you
then
can't watch
if they're popular enough when it tanks, if and when, another toy retailer will scoop them up, just like Hasbro scooped up Kenner when Kenner got in trouble after their Star Wars fiasco. But or Disney, Disney would probably pick them up, probably clean them up. But yeah, don't worry about it. People speculate about it a lot.
Don't look at it.
If you enjoy it, enjoy it. Enjoy it while you got it.
Thing.
I feel bad for people that invested a lot because, like I said, a lot of the people who, I think at least half of the people who are buying them think it's an investment. And if it bottoms out or there's a bankruptcy hearing, they're gonna flood the market. They're gonna flood the market with that stuff, and the values are gonna bail.
Yeah, and then you can get all the stuff you always wanted. I can finally get that Skeletor.
Yeah, she never did get the
first one.
I don't have the Skeletor. We on a few of these pieces we have we have similar ones.
Yeah.
We have the same one. I could get those ad icons. I could get my ad icons back. Remember, I had the original 3 ad icons, and they were swiped off of me.
Oh, right.
Yeah, the Boo Berry and Count Chocula and Frankenberry, the 1, 2, and 3 original. I'm not going to buy those now. I'm not paying over $300 a piece for those.
No.
If I'm going to spend that much money, I'm going to get a vintage piece because that's just my style.
Yeah.
You know, I love this 60s, 70s, 80s action figures is like my favorite thing. But hey, maybe you'd have a chance to scoop things up. And again, we're not trying to. If you're a fanatic, we're not trying to kick you in the teeth.
No, don't worry about it.
Yeah, we're just
don't even look at the stock market. Just keep buying what you want.
Yeah,
I'm serious.
We're just answering. We're just
want.
answering the question.
Yeah.
That because people have been wondering about it, and I guess some people are nervous about it, and you know, if it does well, it does well. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Yeah.
You
and
know.
Don't buy stuff because you think it's gonna.
No, never
buy
do that.
it because you like it.
Yeah.
I mean, because I stopped collecting Funko, but the ones that I have,
yeah.
I'm gonna keep.
Yeah.
I'm just not getting any more. It's stuff that's coming out that I like, but I'm not getting any more just because my taste in it and not my taste, my interest has dried up. So.
Yeah, you just got sick of trying to chase around the stores and find them.
Yeah, that helped out a lot. And then the quality
I got tired
and
of it.
all of that.
Yeah, I got tired of it. It's like, oh my God, waiting in line, going to a store like hours before they open or whatever.
Yeah.
It's no fun anymore.
Yeah. So, that's it.
That's it. I mean, I hope we answered your question. I hope I didn't crush your feelings.
No, don't let your feelings get crushed.
No.
Just do what you want to do.
I'm just being honest. You know, like I said, if I can do nothing else, I can be straight with the discussions, honest with people. So if you have any points, you go ahead and put it in the comment section down below. All are welcome. All are welcome.
Yeah.
Please do give the video a thumbs up if you get where we're coming from. Share it if you can. Subscribe if you're new. All that good stuff. Check out some of the other videos. We do a lot more than Funko discussions.
Yes.
Although we haven't done one in a while. This is the first one in some months about just straight Funko. We do a lot more on the channel. Tours, unboxings, hunts, weekly roundup. So check it out. And we will see you again soon. So thanks for watching.
Bye.